Hey everybody and welcome to another tutorial video brought to you by the Minecrafters. I'm Captain Jack, and in this video we're going to be talking about MineFactory reloaded laser drills. Alright, now one of the first things that you might be thinking is, holy crap, it's been a long time since you made a video, and you would be correct. The second thing you might be thinking is, what do these things do? Well, the long and short of it is basically what they do is turn power into ores, and they will drill ore straight out of bedrock, which basically is straight out of nothing, and give you a whole bunch of neat stuff. And they're more difficult to keep running with the amount of power that they require than they are to actually build. Aside from that little piece of pink slime. Anyways, here we go. Here we have the two recipes. We have the laser drill on the left, PreCharger on the right. Pretty simple to make. Some diamonds, glowstone blocks, MFR, machine casing things, some plastic sheets, and over here we have this pink slime ball, which I will show you how to make in just 1 second, because this can be a little bit difficult if you've never done it before. Inside the laser drill, we have a GUI with 6 inventory spots for laser drill PreChargers, and we will be talking about those in just 1 second. I've got a really neat room set up over there. You're not going to want to miss that. Yeah, energy bars, energy buffer, work, and so on and so forth. Pretty simple. Laser drill PreCharger, got the ZZ bar, the up, and the lightning bolt in there. All important stuff. Great stuff. Let's find out how to make the pink slime. What you're going to need is you are going to need to make a slaughterhouse from MFR, and what the slaughterhouse does is it kills either aggressive mobs or passive mobs, and it will produce this stuff called meat, and it will produce pink slime. So you can see that when it gets down there, it's going to start going boop, boop, boop. It's going to make some meat over here, some pink slime over here. You don't need to actually drain this with any sort of piping or anything. It will just automatically empty out into adjacent liquid inventory slots. So I have pink slime over here, and I have meat over here. And one of the byproducts, you don't actually need the meat for what we're doing here, but you're going to get a whole ton more meat than you are going to get pink slime, and you can pump that out into what's called a meat packer here. And if I just adjust the settings on this to import, that's going to fill up with meat there, and if I flip it on, it's going to start packing some meat. Okay, you're going to get these raw meat ingots, and you can turn those into raw meat blocks, and you can cook them and do all sorts of great stuff and eat them. It's a really sadistic way to use this meat, as far as I'm concerned. But anyways, the slaughterhouse will not kill babies. So if you have a rancher set up, it will move the babies from one pen to the other and only kill the adults, and that will be a pretty neat way to keep your flow of pink slime going, which I hear bouncing around outside right now. But anyways, once you get enough pink slime to make a bucket's worth, which could take a little while, just go ahead and grab a bucket, and then well, I'll grab this one here since I don't know why that happened. And we're gonna go outside, and I'll show you how to make the pink slime. Ooh, it's dark out here. All right. Ooh, there's lots of mobs too. What you're going to do is you're going to put this bucket of pink slime on the ground, and it will turn into an actual pink slime, and sometimes it takes a little while, but once you drop that guy down and kill him, you're going to get some pink slime balls, and there's a chance that you might not actually get the pink slime balls, so don't worry about it. The best thing you can possibly do is to probably get a safari net and put a pink slime inside a safari net, and just spawn a whole bunch of them, so that way you never have to actually go through this whole process again. Okay, so that's how you get the pink slime ball. Now you'll be able to make your laser drill PreChargers, and now we're going to learn how to set one of these things up here. And I have one ready to go. We'll talk about power and stuff in a second, but you can see I have hooked up an EU source, an RF source, and an MJ/RF source down here. We got thermal expansion, EnderIO, which is awesome. That's what I'm using this staff of traveling here. You can hook up power directly with some kind of energy cell. And you actually don't need to power the laser itself. You need to power the PreChargers, and you can select, or you can have up to 4 PreChargers per laser drill. When you put down your laser drill, it's not going to have any power or anything, and the PreChargers are going to power it like I just said. And you have to put them 1 block away, and it will create this little beam in between here, which is extremely harmful once it's up and running and has power. You see this will not work. It's a little bit too far away. So you can do here, and then you can do up to 4 of these. Ow, there's the beam. That one's working. That's why it hurt me. Okay? So that's what the PreChargers are for. You can have up to 4 of them on there, and you have to make sure that they have a load of power. And what you also have to make sure to do is you have to make sure that your laser drill is over bedrock. If this block was covered up, for instance, just like this, it's not going to work. It has to have a clear shot all the way down to bedrock, and I'm on a super flat world, so there's not much space between me and bedrock. But yes, the laser drill is going to pull out all sorts of ores straight from bedrock, and you can see that this thing is working very slowly, and as soon as it gets to the top, it's going to create another ore. And you can see inside of here that it doesn't care whether or not, there it goes, just made that aluminum. Doesn't care whether it's a nether ore, a regular ore. It's just going to start randomly spawning in all sorts of different ores. And I believe redstone and like coal or iron, I think redstone and iron have a default higher chance of being generated than most other ores. Okay, so it's going to just get you a whole mishmash of all sorts of different stuff. And it's just basically at the cost of power. So if you have a ton of power to burn, these are a great way to use it for sure. Okay. Now let's see actually how much power these things take to burn. It's going to take 600,000 MJ per ore, okay, for this thing to make. So every 600,000 MJ the block consumes, it's going to give you one ore. And so we got 6 million RF, 1.5 million EU, and that's the rate per ore. Now each PreCharger has a certain power cap, and the total power cap with 4 PreChargers is listed there at the bottom. Pretty straightforward. So let's say in terms of RF, it's going to add, each PreCharger is going to add 5,000 RF per tick each to the total production of your 6 million RF per tick for each ore, and so on and so forth. And you can get a maximum of 20,000 RF per tick with the use of 4 lasers. So 20,000 RF per tick, divide that by the 600,000 or the 6 million RF, and that's how long it's going to take you to make that ore there. Whoops. Okay. One thing that's pretty hard to find anywhere is this discount, the power discount. From what I understand, if the laser itself is placed above or at 128 world height, you're going to get a negative 20% power discount, which for these things is really significant. And if you're above or at 64 world height, you're going to get a 10% power discount. And if you're anything below that, you're not going to get any kind of discount. And these numbers here all will apply. I am not 1000% sure on that, so I'm just throwing that out there. All right, this is a fully set up MFR laser, and this is full, so it's not really making anything right now. It'll start as soon as I do that. But you can see I have my 4 PreChargers set here. When they have enough power, they are going to be lit up in red on the top. If they're not getting enough power, and this source couldn't handle powering all of them, they will start flickering between black and red. Okay, so that's what happens there. So if you notice that your things aren't working properly, if they're flickering, they're not getting enough power. Okay, and that's down to bedrock. And this is pulling up ores, and I'm using EnderIO conduit, which is the best mod ever, which I do have a tutorial on. And it's keeping these things powered. So this is a fully powered laser drill. Now there's a bunch of different ways to obviously get the power needed to use these. You can make nuclear reactors, you can do big reactors. Do have a tutorial on big reactors if you want to check that out. I have a facility set up where I'm using 4 pretty high powered turbines to make or to power 4 MFR laser drills. So getting enough power, that's going to be in your hands to keep these things going full blast. Oh, and one thing I didn't mention actually, you don't actually need all 4 laser drills. You see this one's working fine with just 1, or PreChargers. This one's working fine with just 1. It's going to take a lot longer because it's only throwing in, let's say 5,000 RF per tick towards that 6 million RF per tick line. So this has been running for a little while and doesn't really have too many ores, and you can see that it's taking a really long time to create an ore. So you can have anywhere from 1 to 4 of these PreChargers set up depending on your power needs. All right. Laser focus testing, last but not least here. The laser focuses are not that easy to make simply because they require emerald. Now if you have an infinite number of or supply of emeralds, they're super easy to make. They're all going to require these emeralds, gold nuggets, and you can use some of these materials interchangeably. And you're going to build this thing called a laser focus. And keep in mind for the stained glass that you're going to need ceramic wax to stain your glass. So if your recipe's not working, that's why. All right, we have in this colorful rainbow room of fun all the different laser focus testings. um, all the different laser focuses, put in all different mining lasers, and I've done this because it was a neat experiment that I've actually always wanted to do, to see exactly what the ratio of ores was that these things pulled with the different focuses inside of them. And while you're looking at this, you may be playing a different mod pack than I am. I am playing on our own, the Minecrafters mod pack called Icehenge. And so our ores and the ores that we have in this pack may be a little bit different than yours. If you do want the pack, you can visit our website and download it. The link is right down there in the description. Um, and some of these laser focuses, I believe magenta and um, green. No, I forget. Some of them don't actually have an ore bonus, and you can, I believe, go ahead and change those somehow in your configuration files. Maybe it's not config files. Don't quote me on that. I'm really not sure. But anyways, let's just go through these one by one. I'll show you what each of the focuses will get you and approximately how much more than normal the ores will generate. So right here we have the cyan laser focus, and you can see that I have them, all of them inside of here. The stacking effect is cumulative inside of these things. And you can see I have a ton of yellowite, a bunch of malachite, a ton of Certus quartz, and I told you already coal was a default ore that you're just going to get more of naturally. So it looks like this one's pulling in Certus quartz, malachite, and yellowite. So if you want to keep a big reactor loaded and full, this is one of the ways that you can do it with Yellorium. Blue focus is going to add, give you sapphire, lapis, cobalt. Oh, cobalt. This is another great thing about these things is you can yank cobalt and ardite out of the floor without actually having to have to go into the nether and find all this stuff. So this is a really, really great benefit of these things. And look at all these extra ores here. Apatite, lapis, cobalt, more lapis, and sapphire. Okay, so that's the blue. Black is going to give us coal, iron, and I'm pretty sure that's it. There we go. We have a little bit more of nether coal down there. Looks like I missed that one. Brown, let's see. We're going to get a ton of iron, topaz, nether iron, and I don't see any other ores with a lot. So we got a lot of iron from brown. What is this? Light gray. Lots of coal, lots of nether tin, ferrous. Ferrous is a really good one, so that might be an option for you. And a bunch of nether ferrous there. Purple, it's going to give us lead, tanzanite. Looks like that's it. Green, we have a load of that's it. This one's pretty useless, actually. You don't want to use green unless you need that for some reason. Lime, this is a personal favorite of mine. It's going to give you a ton of emerald. So if you're having trouble making focuses, this might be the way to go. A ton of uranium, which you can actually smash this down into Yellorium in a regular pulverizer if you want to use this instead of the cyan focus. We got nether uranium, and that's going to be it for the lime focus. Yellow, I couldn't believe this one. This one's crazy. You got a ton of sulfur, ton of gold, glowstone blocks, nether gold ore, sulfur, and yellorite. This one is a really good one. I like that one a lot. Redstone as expected, firestone ore, that stuff's really awesome. Mad Shame was just showing me how to do that. It's pretty cool. Ruby ore, cinnabar, more ruby ore, and more redstone ore. And pink is one of those ones that doesn't have a preference. You can see just coal and redstone has a higher chance by default. Light gray, silver, nether pig iron. That's a really neat one for making steel. Got some silver ore and bought it for that one. Light blue is going to give you platinum, which is insane. Holy crap. I'm not sure if this works with Greg Tech, but there's something to keep in mind. But at the very least for shiny ingots, diamond ore, tons of diamond, nicolite. This one is a really nice one, light blue. Coal, iron, magenta, that's the one. That's for sure one that doesn't have a bonus. This is orange. We have amber, ardite, nether amber, copper. So yeah, copper and ardite. Look at that, 48 ardite without even mining it. Awesome. Okay, and last but not least, we have white, which is going to give you saltpeter, which is really good for, I believe, making gelid cryothium, nether, quartz, or aluminum, saltpeter, And that's it. So these are all the different focuses. These are MFR lasers. They do require a horrific amount of power to keep going at max speed. So 20,000 RF per tick is really no joke. Once you get to this point, though, you're probably not going to have to worry about power. And once you get to this point too, and you have enough of these lasers going, and you can build them and power them, you're really probably not going to need a quarry for too much else. All right. This has been another tutorial brought to you by the Minecrafters. All kinds of information is down below in the description. You can find out how to make these lovely colored signs. I'll link or I'll put the link for the tutorial there. Check out our website, download our mod pack if you would like to use it. It's a really big one. If you do download it, just make sure you allocate enough RAM to it. It is huge. And that's about it for now. Captain Jack out. Stay poised, guys.